this is Jay. I'm starting a new series where I just sort of dig into some tips and tricks and things of that nature and some of the more tech side of running my channel. There were some people who had some questions on setup and people who are just sort of getting into the whole being a crafter on the internet thing. So that I think is kind of an interesting place for us to disembark to sort of look at things. The first question I had was on how I create my intro videos, and I use Canva. I have the premium version, although you can do this in the free version as well. And you can start from scratch because with Canva, you can basically go to create project and you can just create a blank video project. I typically don't do that because it's a lot easier if you start from a template. So I'm going to be doing a birthday stream on the 9th. So I thought that I would do sort of a how I would set up a countdown video for that. So let's say I would just search probably for birthday. Wow, that's spelled wrong. Birthday intro video.
And then once you see the templates, you can pretty much pick any one that you want. If you hover over them, you can sort of see what sort of animation you'd get. And there's also, next to them, there'll also be like this little crown if it's a pro version only template. So because I'm paying for it, it doesn't matter. But if you are looking for free ones only, there is a little option slider where you can just look at the versions that's available to you. Generally, I focus most on color and just sort of look for things that feel good to me. I really liked this one that has these sort of splashes of color, and then you can also change many of the colors in the logo or the video. As you can see, there's a lot of these where there's sort of graphic elements that wind up getting animated. Now, I'm going to use this one, and let's just jump to doing some customizations here. Now, this is the template loaded in, and you can see each of those sort of splotches of color as its own graphic element, so you can control them individually. So in this particular template, we could do a lot in terms of changing the colors. The first thing I'm going to do is actually go in and change the background to white because it tends to work better with the timer assets that I tend to use, although you could do whatever you want here. Finding the timers can kind of be a pain, so if you go to this WordPress site that I'll link down below, called Timertopia, they have a whole bunch of pre-done animated GIF timers that you can use that come in differing time intervals, basically. I tend to like to use a 2-minute time interval, so I don't use much other than those, but I'm just showing you here how you can click on any of them, and then once they come up, basically you can just right-click and save the animated GIF. If you're using sort of a shorter timer like this, you may want to cut off that leading 0, but you can just use that as an element. Other people will tend to use either some of the script functionality built into OBS to just do an overlay there, because you can sort of do a countdown timer pretty easily there. Anyway, I went and now I'm back, and I'm just going to go in here and change the text because I want to say welcome to my birthday stream. And then the next thing I'm going to do is just move this around, and there we go. There you can really see that all those elements are individual. And it's also worth noting that they're all on their own particular layer. So you can control in a lot of detail where things go in terms of which things are closer to you or more farther away, which matter when you're dealing with things that overlap. I'm just going through here and I'm changing the animation so it animates in and out. It's the both option in Canva. Basically, that will allow me to just copy and paste this a whole bunch of times to loop through. I'm also going to extend the time here as well to 10 seconds. And then once I have that all done, I'm going to go and export it to a video that's going to be in the upper right hand corner that that share option also allows you to download things. So let's just swap back in once this is exported as a video. I'm also going to go through here and add some additional clip art. Let me show you that piece next, actually. Now, you can actually upload any graphic you want to Canva. So you see I have my own avatar and a whole bunch of project photos and a bunch of other things. I'm just going to grab my avatar and put him over there. And that way, it kind of adds some personal branding. I also want to go into the graphics library, which is the second sort of thing down that looks like a bunch of shapes. And I'm going to go in and find a cake. Oh, I'm just showing you here that if you click on any image, you have access to a really nice background removal tool. All of mine pretty much have transparent backgrounds, but it's kind of handy, especially if you're working with a logo provided by a company or something and you just want to make it transparent. And you can also do a lot of controlling of where this shows up and if it's animated. Often Canva, when you bring something in, will just kind of pull in the animation. I'm going to go in and change this basically to not animate in, just so that I'm always there, similar to the text. So that basically, and I thought it kind of looked weird with me flying in, so that's why I went into the animations and just changed that up a little bit. And there you can see me doing that. And I'm just going to go in and disable the animations, which is the that purple button all the way at the bottom. That'll clear all animations from whatever you have selected. And then basically you'll be able to have things behave more like flat graphics. And there we go. Now I'm going to look up a cake and basically just find one that I like. There was that one I didn't like as much because of the buttercream color of the frosting. It seemed like too muted a color. So I pulled that one out and then just grabbed one that had more blues, and then I just sort of sized that down to something that fit the scene a little bit better. And then once all that is taken care of, basically I'm just going to duplicate this page a whole bunch of times and then export it and then re-import it. And the reason for that is that the timer video is 2 minutes long, so I want the videos to be about the same length before I assemble this. And we are back, and I basically exported this video as a video and then re-imported it or through the upload area. As you can see, I have my countdown timer and my finished video, so I was able to just bring in the countdown timer. That's the little circly thing. Essentially, this is an animated GIF, but from Canva's perspective, it acts more like a video than it does a flat image. So I just pulled them in, and you can actually click on the animated GIF and adjust its timing. The actual timer, I think, is for like 10 minutes, but I always adjust it down. But it's easier to have a longer timer and just reuse that from, you know, countdown to countdown, I think, than making a specific length one and going from there. So there we see that I have everything all together. So basically this is done. The only thing you may want to do here is add audio. So I'm just jumping through, and then I'm testing a few different audio options. Pretty much like everything else, if you see the little crown next to things, those are items which are premium only. And if you don't see an audio icon there in sort of that main bar, what you can do is search for something and then scroll down until you see an audio file. If you click on one down below, add audio is an option. Once you've used it, it'll stay there forever. And basically, it works pretty similarly to other video software where you can sort of drag the audio around and you can shrink it or make it longer depending on what you want. But basically, with the audio portion in, this is good to go. So that's about how long it takes to make an intro. I always forget about the part where you have to like export it and then re-import it if you're sort of looping the same video over and over. But other than that, I think it's pretty straightforward. I tend to use previous intros as sort of a starting point and then just change the graphics around. So that means that if you're doing something like that, if you're just changing graphics and music, this can maybe only take you 5 minutes. But I think starting from scratch and building one of these, it took me maybe 15 or 20 minutes in real time. Anyway, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. And if this is helpful to sort of walk you guys through sort of my process, that's I'm happy to make more of these videos if it's helpful.